Hey everyone, this is Jaguar Gator 9, and it's the end of the year, so I figure I do what a lot of channels and a lot of people are doing around this time and talk about the year, talk about my plans for 2024 going forward, talk about some changes to the channel that I'm really looking forward to, and talk about just my thoughts on, well, everything. First off, this was a massive year of change in my life. This was the first year that this was my full-time job. Before this year, this was just something that I did on the side. I wanted this to be my full-time job, but I wanted to finish up school before I fully committed to this. So for 3.5 years, I was doing this while doing law school on the side, getting my JD and my master's, and I was taking a giant leap of faith by committing to this full time and putting all my eggs in this basket. And folks, this truly was the greatest decision that I ever made, and you guys helped make this all possible. By watching the videos, by interacting with me, by buying the merchandise, by supporting me with YouTube memberships and Patreon, by watching and donating on the streams, you guys have made this stream of mine a reality. And I say it all the time, but I'm truly grateful and I truly believe that I have the best job in the world, as I'm just able to talk about my passion in front of tons of people on my terms and in my apartment. It is awesome. I am so fortunate and blessed to be able to do this, and none of this would be possible without your support. So this first year of doing YouTube full time was definitely a successful one thanks to you, and I learned a lot along the way. The other big change with the channel that happened in 2023 was, well, what you see behind me with this studio. This has been my goal ever since I knew I wanted to go full-time, which was to have a dedicated place to talk football that would look cool on stream, and that I hope would be the nicest studio on YouTube. I hyped it up for a while. Hopefully it lived up to the hype. I love this place. I love what we're able to do with it, and trust me, this is only the beginning. If you watched my XFL and USFL streams from last year, or I guess February or March when we first started streaming, you know that I did those on my couch in my one-bedroom apartment. And I promise you this year, we're doing the streams in this studio. We'll have the corresponding helmets, and it's going to be absolutely incredible. Just waiting for any announcement on whatever is happening in the XFL, USFL, but those are coming back. So this year brought on me doing this full-time, the studio, the introduction of the streams, which have been amazing to interact with you guys and to call the games, and I definitely want to do more of those. Now, before I talk about what's changing for 2024, because there's 3 things in particular that I'm really excited about sharing with you guys, I want to address one of the most common questions that I've gotten, and that is, what happened to JG8 and JG7, my college football channel and my baseball channel? Are they done? Are they gone? The answer to that is no. They are not done. They are coming back. Long story short, football season absolutely drained me in terms of content. It drained me. During the season, my Sunday mornings and afternoons are taken up because I'm watching the games. My Sunday evenings and nights are taken up because I'm streaming Sunday Night Football. My Monday afternoons are taken up because I'm setting up the studio and everything I need to for the Monday Night Football streams well into the night. And the same thing with Thursday afternoons and nights for Thursday Night Football. Before the season, I didn't really do streaming outside of an hour or two after the Sunday Night Football game where I just hop on, and I do the trivia Wednesday nights. So there were some hours that I was devoting to NFL content with the introduction of these streams that, quite simply, I didn't have enough time. There is nothing more that I want than to have as many hours in the day to make content, but NFL season just destroyed me. I basically lost half the week that I would have had to devote to MLB and college football content, and I grossly underestimated my time. Plus, those channels are way harder to do videos and research for compared to the NFL. So for college football, many games prior to the mid-'80s were not televised due to the way that broadcasting rules work, so finding footage is hard. If you do find it, college football is extremely strict with how much you can use, even if it is fair use. So it is a massive challenge. And then for baseball, there's 162 games in a season, but you might be able to find 2 of those games from a specific team in a given season if it is a historic game. And good luck finding anything from before the 70s. So there's definitely more of a challenge with those 2 sports than there is for the NFL. Now, I plan, once NFL season's done, to resume those channels and resume regular content on there somewhere in the ballpark of once or twice a week. So don't worry, those channels are coming back. It is killing me that I haven't been able to do as much with those channels as I've wanted to, but they are definitely 100% coming back. Don't you worry. Now, as for 2024, there are 3 major things that are changing with the channel and the brand that I'm really excited about. Number 1, earlier this month, I put out a video about a YouTuber who plagiarized a fair amount of content and did it in a documentary style. The reception to that super long-form video was incredible. I noticed the numbers doing really well on that, and I really enjoyed how that came out, and was really proud of that one. All these videos I talk about will be in the description or the upper right corner. So I did another documentary-style video about Alex Hawkins, the broadcaster for CBS that got fired after calling a horrible NFC Championship. The numbers on that one were great, the reception was great, I was also really proud of that one. But I figured, okay, the documentary-style video on YouTube drama, if you want to call it that, I had a feeling that would do pretty well since plagiarism is a hot topic, and you've probably heard of that person. The documentary-style video on a broadcaster getting fired, I also had a feeling that would do pretty well, since the Mike Goldberg vid I did in 2022 is my second most viewed video of all time. Thank you so much for that. I love making that video. I wanted to test out if this was a complete fluke, or if it was just the topic. So I did another documentary video the next week about a quarterback that no one's ever heard of, that started one game, that completed no passes, and then never played again. And I wanted to see how that one would do. And sure enough, it did really well. I like making these documentary-style videos. I really enjoy them. It's like a puzzle, putting the pieces together, and I really enjoy that. So here's what I'm going to try to do going forward. Every Saturday, the videos are going to be documentary style, so we're talking upwards of 40 minutes. I've had some topics that I've wanted to do for a while, but I never got around to doing them because there's so much information that it would take too long. Because usually with the way my schedule works, I do the video the night before that comes out the next day. With the docs, though, I'll be able to work on them throughout the entire week. What's also nice with these is that some of these will absolutely be topics that you probably heard of, but I'll go in depth in a way that no one else has done before. Look for those to be documentary style going forward. We'll see how it goes. I've got another documentary planned. I want to get it out today, if you're watching as of this video, since today is Saturday, but my flight got delayed by a fair amount of hours, so I wasn't able to get back to the studio in time to work on it, but hopefully it comes out either Sunday or Monday, maybe Tuesday. We'll see, but there will be a special documentary style video coming out in the next few days. Number 2, I'm launching a brand new channel called JG9 News, which I'm linking to in the description and in the pinned comment and in the upper right corner. What's the purpose of this channel? Well, there are so many things happening in the NFL that I want to give my opinion on, but I don't want to put it on the main channel, simply because it either wouldn't fit the theme or it would be content overload. My channel is about NFL history, not just me reacting to news that happens. If you want an idea of what this channel would be, think of it like what Tom Grossi does whenever something in the NFL happens about the Packers, and he'll talk in front of the camera and then upload it so that it's timely. That's what this channel is going to be. It's going to be extremely minimal editing minus some basic camera cuts and audio fixing. No footage, no fancy graphics, no nothing. It's just me in front of a camera talking about the news. In fact, the first video is up right now, where I talk about the 15 Hall of Fame finalists that were announced and who I think gets inducted. And I use a lot of historical precedent and a lot of logic in determining who I think will be the final 5. You can check that out by clicking the card in the upper right corner, or the link in the description, or the pinned comment. Now, you might be saying, wait a second. You can barely keep up with JG and JG7, and you're adding another channel? Well, this is different. The college football and baseball channel require a lot of editing, a lot of research, script writing, and the whole 9 yards. Those videos take days to make. These videos on JG9 News are simply me reacting to what's happening in the NFL. A lot of them won't be more than a few minutes long. These videos are just me talking in front of a camera. If something breaks that I'm passionate about, I can just hop in front of my camera and my computer, I can start talking, and I can have the video out in 30 minutes. It's almost like when Trevor Lawrence went down, he was announced out. I would use that channel to talk about that and have the video up very quickly after. It's like comparing apples and oranges. I might even use that channel next season to post Jaguar game reactions immediately after the game ends. Basically, think of this as a second channel where I can just talk about anything in the NFL in a super timely manner. Which brings us to number 3, which is something that will come later in the year. I haven't launched anything yet, and by that I mean after the NFL draft. This is something that I'm really excited about, and I cannot wait to launch. If you've listened to me talk on stream before, you probably have an idea of what this is, but after the NFL draft is done, I'm launching another channel called JG Olympiad, which will just be the JG9 Subway Surfers channel that I made as an April Fool's joke this year, completely rebranded. Now, what's the purpose of this? Well, it's twofold. Number one, there are some fascinating stories about the Olympics that deserve videos that I really want to cover. So for the first 2 or 3 months, it'll be a channel devoted to the weird and wacky history of the Olympics, in the same vein as JG9, JG8, and JG7. But once the end of July rolls around, and this is the big one, we're going to be live streaming the Olympics on there. I love doing these live streams. I love watching the Olympics. For those 2.5 weeks, my body just shuts down and watches everything Olympics. And I've done streams before where I'm calling 2 games at once. So I figured that doing something like this for the Olympics, where I'm calling a bunch of different events at the same time, would be amazing. I've got a bunch of televisions, so I can watch a bunch of different events at the same time and get play-by-play on that like I do for football. It will be a ton of fun. Now, what happens after the Olympics are done with that channel, I'm not sure. I can't promise content on there after the Olympics conclude. But what I will say is that we'll do some history videos on there to get the channel going and get the ball rolling. And then we'll live stream the Olympics like no one else has done before. Minus the part where I actually show the events, because obviously I can't do that. It's going to be 2.5 weeks of if Red Zone was a thing for the Olympics, and I'm steering the ship. Basically, I was going to be streaming the Olympics anyways, but I didn't want to do it on JG9 because the focus of that channel is football. So this is my avenue to doing this. Think of it like that. So in terms of 2024, JG8 and JG7 are coming back after football season is done, with JG8 possibly getting a video before then if a dumb decision happens in the playoff. JG9 News is officially launched, and we'll have regular content on there. So if you want my thoughts on NFL news and Jaguar news, that's the place to go. Documentaries every Saturday on JG9, but nothing else changes there. And JG9 Olympiad launching after the NFL draft with 2.5 weeks of live streams for the 2024 Olympic Games. This is going to be the biggest, busiest, and craziest year yet. And I cannot wait for you guys to come along for the ride and join me on this journey as we grow this thing into something incredible. From the bottom of my heart, thank you guys for making 2023 a great year. Thank you for giving me this platform and for allowing me to make my career, because even though I work hard and work a lot, it doesn't ever feel like work, and it's all because of you guys. The fact that I get to wake up and do this every day is a blessing, and I don't take it for granted. Thank you guys for everything. Have a happy, healthy, and a safe new year, and I'll see you guys soon.